Hi everyone, and welcome to Prime Meet Talks. So, in this series of talks, I'm going to be covering a lot of conversations about career choices within the corporate sector and how do you progress within the corporate sector. It's aimed mainly at those individuals who are, 16, 18-year-olds deciding on their career, what to do, and if you're interested in a career in the corporate life, how are you going to navigate that and how are you going to make a decision of where you're going to end up if you never actually experienced something like that before. Secondly, if you're a final year university student or you're in the process now of applying for jobs and you're reading the job descriptions and you're thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to be the right person for this? Is this something that I can do as a career? What are the people going to be like when I actually start my career? Does that match my personality? Will it bring me happiness? It might bring me money, but will it bring me happiness? Or how do I have a career where I get the best type of money, best return? Or I want a work-life balance. What kind of career choices do I have? So I'm going to talk from a personal experience about all of those things. But then there's also the element of you've been in your career for about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or maybe even 30 years. We go all the way to try and understand how is it that you get recognition within the organization that you've decided to be a part of, and how do you actually make that transformation from being a junior into a senior leadership role, into an executive role, and how do you actually get put forward for those promotions? What's the quickest way to get a promotion, to get a pay increase? Why is it that I am in a position to talk to you about this stuff? So, a little bit about myself. My name's Pramit Singh, and I've been in a career that's spanning over 3 decades, starting off firstly as a qualified chartered accountant at KPMG, which is one of the top 4 advisory firms. And I've got experience there in audit, tax, and in advisory roles in M&A and restructurings, financial modelling. And then I went on to build a small insurance company into a top 5 billion kind of turnover over 5 years insurance company, which is still growing today. And then I went into management consulting, so actually going in and meeting people and really transitioning from coming in as an advisor into going in, really leading senior teams, having a revenue target. And then more recently, I'm working as the global finance director within an insurance business to try and understand, and it doesn't really matter what sector it's in, but at the moment that's the career that I'm focusing on. And one of the key things that I do at my current role is to also lead a team of people within the inclusion and diversity space as the multicultural and inclusion network chair, having a team of almost 18 people working with me to drive equality within the workplace. So all of these things combined, you can see are something that could be of interest. If that does cover you as a type of person that you're interested in a certain career move, then this is the place to hear about it. And what I'm going to do is share some of the secrets, share what happens when I sit in the boardroom or in a governance meeting where we are talking about promoting an individual. Why is it that their name comes up in the promotion? How do we decide how much pay increase an individual gets? How do we decide who do we hire? How do I decide how much budget we have to hire a person and how much return on my budget are we actually going to get? Now, if you had the insight of all of this information that I'm going to give you, when you go in to apply for a role, you will blow away senior management from understanding who you are as an individual, because you will then have a path to navigate within your career, which often is not exposed, it's not given to you. And why am I doing this? So I'm doing this because almost when I started my career, I literally had nobody in the family tree that I could turn to, and I went through making some mistakes or learning and taking a bit longer to learn a few things, because there was no one giving me that advice to how to navigate. And that's what I'm going to give you so that you can enhance or excel your career as a bright individual to be able to achieve the things that you want to do. And why is that important to me? The number one reason is that I see a lot of unhappiness in the corporate world. And what I want really to do is, if you're going to enter this world, I want you to be happy as an individual, both in your life and at work, because not only does it make sense from a productivity and profits perspective, but also from your own personal life perspective. There's no point coming home and worrying about whether you're going to get that promotion or the amount of money you got in your bank account if you don't actually come home and you've got some type of satisfaction within yourself. And so within that, we tie in a little bit of a spiritual or a wider universal understanding of existence matched with how to be successful in the corporate world. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And I'm going to share some of the secrets of how I managed to do that and what kind of impact I've had being able to get recognition last year from the CEO for an award that I got. So from all of this, I'm going to be able to develop this into a series of logs and really use your navigation to see where is it that you need a little bit more information on, a little bit more insight on, that I have personally never seen shared before. So this is novel, but I think it's valuable information from somebody who's experienced corporate life and not talking about the knowledge of what things are like working in the industry myself. Now, the key thing is to really stay in touch and go on this journey, and obviously pick and choose where you find the most interest. But I do want this to be a conversation. I will be reading your comments, and I will be here to support, to try and understand where is it that we can start giving a little bit more information. Look out for my first talk, which will be how do you actually decide where you want to go in your career. It's like flying a plane as a pilot, and you've got all these buttons in front of you, all this great qualification, but you don't really have an understanding of where is it that you're going, because you've never been there before, and how are you supposed to know without having to experience something? So this is something we're going to talk about, and then we're going to delve deeper into what actually happens behind the scenes, and how does that differ from that advertisement you've seen from a job role, for example, or a prospectus, and what actually goes on behind the scenes with HR, with the business, who's signing off, who's writing that, and what are they writing, what's their intention when they're writing these things. So look out for that, and I welcome your comments, your feedback, and it'll be a very interesting journey that we go on together. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay happy, stay peaceful. Speak to you soon.